What is up, people? I am almost certainly real. Back at it again here with the Rogue Tower Discord. We got a patch coming out, absolutely hype. Friday the 15th of July, 2022. I'm probably going to try to stream this weekend, I think. I don't know if I can do it on YouTube and Twitch at the same time. I've streamed a little bit on Twitch before, so I'll try to figure that out. I'll maybe post something in comments once I figure out what I'm going to do there. But absolutely a huge patch here. If you see 34 new monsters, that is nearly triple the original number of monsters. And also there is a new spawning system, which will make every run more different and give the player more things to strategize around. So I'm kind of interested to see how this works. Like, I'm a little nervous that it's going to be a bit too random, but I'm hoping it's maybe like a game specific stuff where it's like, I'm going to know like, oh, for this game, I need to get some extra burn, right? Or for this game, I need to get some extra shield damage or something like that. So we'll see how that works. Definitely very interested to see how that system ends up working out and how we can kind of strategize around it. And then 6 new Oogies also sounds very interesting. With each new horde of monster comes a new reincarnation of Oogie. Yeah, it's interesting to see what this is going to be like, because I feel like with the current mechanics in the game, I don't know how much additional mechanics. Like, I don't know how these 6 new Oogies are going to be different. So we'll have to see how that plays out. Maybe ones that like just spawn more enemies, maybe are like continuously spawning enemies, something like that. Because it already feels like with the different damage types, with the different spawning systems, that there's not like a crazy amount more difference, but we'll see how that is. Mini bosses. This sounds super interesting. So past level 15, every new type of enemy will spawn a mini boss on the following level. So I really like that it's like, so we have to pay attention. We're gonna be watching for when new types of enemies spawn. Hopefully there's maybe like a little bit of a ding 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 in the game or something like that. Because especially if I'm streaming or recording videos, I don't know that I'm always gonna notice. But anyways, on the following level, these mini boss versions of the monsters will be much harder to kill. And then they're going to do some damage to the tower. They pack a punch to the tower, though are not an instant game over. I think the Oogies are an instant game over. So my guess is they do like something like 5 damage. And then additionally, there is a chance that they may drop some loot, making it all the more important that you defeat them. So that's kind of cool. It'd be interesting to see what they drop. Maybe just like a single card or something like that. Maybe some money. That could be interesting. But they go the shortest path. I actually really like that, because if you're doing a 3-way and you have no idea what lane these guys are going to spawn in, you're going to have to like start the next level, see where it spawns, then build a bunch of shit. The fact that it spawns in the shortest lane I like, is it makes it like a little bit different than the Oogies. And then it is deterministic. So I don't have to be like, oh, where's this guy going to spawn? And then this is probably the most exciting thing, is the new challenge mode. It is the pièce de la résistance for this update. It brings 2 whole new levels to strategize your defense. So first, you'll be forced to choose a monster card every round. These monster cards will grant all monsters bonuses and buffs, making them harder to defeat. So that's interesting. It's going to be, I think that this mode is all going to be about choosing monster cards that you're good at killing, right? Is buffing the monsters in a way that makes them weak to what you're good at. Which buffs will you choose to give them will become very important as you get farther, so pick carefully. However, the monsters are not the only ones who get cards. Every level, when you draw cards in this challenge mode, you will instead get to draw 2 cards. So do I get to pick 2 cards? I feel like this just doubles the amount of cards I get, right? I'm not positive, but that's kind of interesting, because right now I do feel like you're kind of like, let's say you want to go with a tower that uses mana. That's basically all of your upgrades, right? Getting the mana for it and then getting up to those crit upgrades on that tower. That basically burns through all of your cards, with some amount of like, yeah, you get forced to pick some stuff that you don't want. So getting to draw 2 cards lets you build into like multiple towers, and I think maybe lets you build into some different interesting builds. I think going multiple dots would be super interesting, or going like shredders. Getting all the crit dot stuff is something that I wanted to do, but it's always like I don't have enough upgrades. Like getting the burn tower and then getting the percentage burn upgrades, getting the shredder, getting the percentage bleed upgrades, getting the poison, getting the percent poison upgrades, and then also getting kind of those crit per X stuff. But it always feels like you don't have enough upgrades to do stuff like that. You can only do sort of one at a time. So it'll be interesting to see how that challenge mode is. This definitely sounds the most interesting. And then additional changes and reworks. Let's look at that. Excuse me. Oh, I can't scroll down here. I gotta OBS, move my OBS here. There we go. Additional changes and reworks. Although this pass is mainly introducing monsters, the following are changes. So haunted houses, nobody cares. I'm not going to build them. 0% chance unless it involves me being able to just spam them randomly, which it doesn't. No longer consume mana and instead grant gold per level based on your tower health. Interesting. If you could go like mines and haunted houses potentially to do some sort of like, I don't know, build with that, but I'm probably not going to use it. Maybe once. I might do like one round where I do it for the memes, but I'm honestly, I'm just too lazy to build them. Damage tracker update to show percentages for each damage category. I don't really care about that much. I really want damage for gold for the last round, because the damage for gold right now is just very heavily influenced by when you built the towers and when you upgraded them, right? Because it's kind of taking the entire game's damage and like being like, oh, this is your damage for gold. So if you build a tower, like the very next level after it's built, it's gonna be like, oh, that looks like it's trash, but it's only been around for one level. So lookouts now accurately track damage. I do like that. It would be very interesting to see sort of how those work. So this is the biggest change. This is a massive nerf to ballistas. Base price 50 to 10 gold. Doesn't really matter if you're doing ballista only or you're spamming ballistas, but this price scaling from 10 a level to 15 a level, that's like a 50% increase in your scaling costs. So you're gonna have to go deeper into upgrades on the ballistas. And like, when does that? So that's 40 gold, and then it's a 5 gold difference. So 40 divided by 5 is 40, is 4 times 8. So that's 8. At level 8, they end up costing the same, right? So they end up costing the same, like basically after you've, so if you have houses and you spam ballistas near your houses, they basically cost the same once you've done that spam. I don't know how many you actually do. That's not actually when you've invested the same total amount of money into them, but it's pretty close to that point. So that is actually a huge, huge nerf to ballistas, which I think, to be honest, I think that that's kind of okay. Ballistas, if I'm to be honest, every time I go to do a 3-way ballista plus X challenge, I just want to do ballista only, and then like at wave like 40 plus, just grab a random tower. Because it feels like with the amount of upgrades you get, it's just, you're better off just going ballista only. Anyways, but this patch looks hype. I am going to... yeah, I'm going to stream this weekend a little bit. I'll definitely make some videos on this. I'm sort of done my modding of 20 minutes to dawn there. If you've seen my latest videos, that has been my most recent kick, is doing a performance mod for that game, and it was kind of fun to do there. I still am intending on making a video about that, how it works, but I think I'm going to be playing a little bit of Rogue Tower this weekend, and I will post in the comments if I figure out what I'm going to do about streaming. I would absolutely recommend checking this out. It seems like it's going to be a huge upgrade, and like it's not like just like, oh, stuff's a little bit different or there's a new tower. There's like a huge amount of new monsters. There's a new mode, and then all sorts of new things to do to change how you play the game. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Have a great day.